All right, there we are.
Woohoo!
All right. Let's see what's going on. But yeah, we're just here to talk about season 5 and 6 and have some fun just discussing old Star Trek and yeah.
Good Star Trek. Thank God for good Star Trek, man. I'm telling you.
Oh, I know. I was listening to everybody's reviews over STDs, and there's oh my gosh, I got a headache for just trying to listen to what they're talking about. I haven't seen the show. I don't want
to. Don't do it.
Yeah, no, I'm good.
Yeah, man, it's only worth a hate watch.
Yeah, but I'll let you go first. I guess we'll start here in a minute. We'll wait till some people start coming in. Give it a couple minutes.
Yeah, we could BS for a few minutes. I just shared the link out on Twitter, so usually it takes about 5 minutes for people to kind of come in.
Oh. Have you seen the new episode of Mandalorian?
I caught most of it. I think I fell asleep slightly in the middle, but I liked it. I liked it quite a bit.
Yeah, a lot of people didn't, but I thought it was decent. It's not one of the best episodes. I did a review over it just a little while ago. I don't know if it finally came out or not. But yeah, it was one of their more mediocre, because there hasn't been like horrible Mandalorian episodes. There's been a lot of that was okay, and there's been a couple great ones, but yeah, at least for me.
It felt like Star Wars. I didn't like the. I don't know if I should spoil it or not, but there's a reveal at the end. There's a character that.
Right, yeah.
Has somebody else is wearing basically their outfit in it. And I was like, oh, so that's how they're going to do it. Well, that's great. That actually makes some sense. And then, and then there's a reveal at the end that it shows the character without their outfit, and you're like, oh, he's dead, Jim.
No, yeah, it was interesting. I was like, okay, and I thought what was that called, a Sandrake or whatever? Can't think of the actual name of it. The big worm thing.
Yeah,
I thought that looked pretty cool. I was like, okay.
This Mandalorian is taking some of its inspiration from Westerns very clearly.
Oh, yeah.
And, this fit into that. This was like a good Western. I enjoyed that aspect of it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'll be interested to see what they go forward. And I do like that Baby Yoda wasn't like a major part of it. He just said like, "Oh, look, he's doing cute things in the background. Oh, it's cute."
That was a huge improvement, having him in it less rather than more.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll get lucky and Baby Yoda will get eaten by a giant snake soon. I don't know.
No, I was worried a little bit, like Mando would be eaten or something, and Baby Yoda would be like, and like the whole thing would come out of the sand, like squirming around, force picking it up. I'm like, seriously. But yeah. Yep. I was like, okay, wonder what they're gonna do.
Yeah, I'm really, I want to see Cara Dune. I want to see the return of Bill and his merry band of.
But I'm ready for Cara Dune. Just all Cara Dune. Let's just do Cara Dune all day.
Yeah, let's just have Mondo die and get Cara Dune in there kicking some ass.
Yeah, she'll put the helmet on. I don't know, keep the helmet off, actually. I like the outfit she has on already.
Badass chick.
Oh, hot badass chick who actually looks like she can kick ass instead of being like, look at me.
Yeah, I'm anorexic and
4 foot.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I guess it's been 5 minutes. We'll start with season 5, but I'll let you go first.
Alrighty. I will give my top 3 episodes in no particular order. Silicon Avatar is in my top 3. So this is nice because I always like it when they follow up on a prior episode. So,
right.
this comes from Data Lore, the season 1 episode. They meet, Lore tries to give the crew to the Silicon, the crystalline entity. And so we follow up with that. We open up with Riker on a planet. Of course, Riker's, is being a babe hound, and he's there, getting ready to, he's setting a date with Carmen. And then all of a sudden, something shows up, and he and the crew recognize it as the Silicon, or the crystalline entity.
Right.
And Carmen unfortunately doesn't make it, but for some reason the crew survives, and no one understands why. So they bring in an expert, and an expert was the mother of one of the people on the planet that Data came from.
Right.
Yeah, where Lore had given all of the people to the crystalline entity, and so she doesn't like Data, and but Data retains all of. See, this is good stuff because they're keeping the continuity in, and Data retains the memories of all the colonists, including her son. Yeah, so she warms up to Data a little bit, even though she doesn't initially is cold to him because of Lore, and she thinks that the reason they survived was because of, and I don't think it was ever clearly explained why they survived. I think maybe it was the crystalline entity thinking it was Lore, but whatever.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Anyway, it gets to the point where they try to communicate, which is very Star Trek-y. They're trying to communicate with the crystalline entity. There's great moral dilemmas. There's she's saying, "Aren't you going to destroy it?" And Picard draws an analogy between the crystalline entity and a whale eating cuttlefish.
Mm-hmm.
And you get a little bit of Riker saying we should probably destroy it too. And Riker is a little curt and says, "Well, I'll write a letter to Carmen's family." And And so at the end, this brilliant scientist, she's, they're starting to be able to communicate with the crystalline entity, and she resonates it in a certain way so that she ends up, and she locks everyone else out. I don't know how that, and she's trying to, she does a continuous communication, and it blows up the crystalline entity and kills it.
Yeah.
And Picard's quite upset. You could see like a little bit of relief on Riker's face. But they end up taking her away, and she goes a little bit crazy. She's like, "I did it for you, Rennie. I did it for you."
Yeah.
And Data kind of says, "I believe your son would be disappointed that you ruined your career over this." And
right.
So that I think Silicon Avatar was a great episode. That was
that was a pretty good one.
Yeah. The next one, I think that was kind of fun, is A Matter of Time. So that's the one that has Fleming Rasmussen it has that guy Berlinghoff Rasmussen, and he comes there, and he claims to be an historian from the future.
Oh, right. Yes. Okay, I know what you're talking about now.
Yeah, but he's actually a con man. He, a man from the past that wants to change history to make money.
Right. Yeah.
And so I thought that was really good. Interestingly enough, that role was originally written for Robin Williams, and
Robin Williams was great. Oh man.
Right? That would have been amazing if they could have gotten Robin Williams. He would have been great as a con man like that. But so at the end, the Enterprise, they start finding things missing. They're asking him, they're like, "We don't care if you're from the future. We're in the present and we need to help this planet." And he's like, "I can't change history." And none of his story is really adding up. And then he makes some weird pervy comment, sideways comments to Beverly Crusher. And she's like, "I could be your great grandmother." And so, they're just like, kind of the kind of sleaziness dripping off this guy is makes for good entertainment. And eventually, the time ship, is like they're on to him, so they take all the stuff back, and they're like, "Wait," and he's like, "Wait, I've got to go back." and the time ship takes off without him, so he's going to end up being in a Federation penal colony.
Yeah. Yeah, it just takes off without him. He's like, oh crap. Well,
Yep.
I was like, well, glad he wasn't an important person in history because that would be bad.
Yep. Hopefully not. I guess he was fated to disappear. And then the next one I really enjoyed of season 5. Well, I guess that could have been there's a lot of good episodes in this one. So, boy, this is a tough one. Probably going to go with Violations. That's where we're introduced to Counselor Troy being mind raped.
Oh, right, yeah.
So there are these telepathic aliens on board, and it starts off with kind of like a neat novelty act where they have Keiko O'Brien going through, and she has this memory, and she can't figure out what it is. And the telepathic aliens are able to determine that, it's not tea. This is for paintbrushes, and my grandma used to paint. That's what it is. I was there with my grandma painting when I was a young girl. Yay!
Yeah.
But one of the aliens ends up being like a Hunter Biden. So,
That's good. Yeah.
Yep.
Good analogy. Yeah.
Yeah. And so, you get these very interesting flashbacks with Counselor Troy and with Dr. Crusher. And, it shows Riker and Deanna's relationship, not while we're on the same ship. And then, and then like the pervy alien replaces Commander Riker, and she's like, no.
Yeah. He's trying to force himself on her.
Yeah, which was, kind of creepy. And then I really liked the Beverly Crusher flashback because it shows Picard with, hair, which was weird.
Oh. Yeah. Right.
So they're walking in there, and that's when after Jack Crusher died, and he's like, he wouldn't want you to see him like this. And then it gets replaced with the alien, and he's like, he wouldn't want you to see him like this. She.
Right.
And so they go into comas, and no one can figure it out. But then Hunter Biden inserts his own father into, he forensically tries to figure out what happens and covers his tracks by implanting a memory of his father being the pervert.
Right.
How Hunter Biden of him. Eventually they were able to, Data does some sleuthing, which is, I like a good Data sleuthing episode, and finds out that the father wasn't present at some of the places, and that, they're looking for conditions that could have mimicked a certain medical condition. And eventually they determined that it was Hunter Biden doing it, not the dad. And,
right.
And so that's how it ends. Although I really do enjoy the Masterpiece Society and Conundrum too. Those two I really like.
All right. Yeah. Hey, Phillips Gaming. How's it going?
Hey, Phil.
Yeah. Those are pretty good episodes.
Yeah, they had. Yeah.
Let's see. I think, and none of them are on my hate list or my love list. So that's great.
Sweet. Yeah, it's always a good thing. See, that's a good sign of a good show.
Yeah. Let's see. The one I liked, the first one I liked was called Darmok. I think it's called. It's the one where Picard learns how to speak with a race who can't speak only in metaphors.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was interesting because he's like, you had to like, what happens if you meet a race that the universal, translator can't translate, and everybody else is giving up on them because they keep saying it's impossible to talk with these people, and so he goes on the planet. He's transported by his permission with the other captain down to the planet, and he's got to try to figure out how to work with these guys, and he finally starts to learn. I thought it was a pretty interesting episode. Just the way they, he gets transported out of there when the other captain's fighting the beast, and he gets all mad about it because he didn't want it to get transported.
Darmok and Jalad at Tanagra. Yep, that's that. Yeah, that is a classic Trek trope right there. Learning how to communicate.
Right. Yeah. Did I not put TNG? Maybe I didn't. I thought I did. Okay. Well, I'll switch that when I can edit it. Let me check it. Oh, yeah. I forgot TNG.
Whoops.
One second. Let me fix that real quick. Okay. Well, no. Let me fix it.
Wow, there were a lot of good episodes in this season.
Oh, yeah. Let me save that. All right. There we go. There we go. An
Like
error occurring. Yeah, stupid error. I'll fix it later.
It's still going to be hard to find 3 that I greatly despise in this season, but I think in season 6 that will change.
Let's see. After that one, I liked Designator. As Picard gets stuck in the elevator with those kids. I know you don't like kid episodes, but I thought it was pretty funny that Tori becomes like the commander of this bridge, and she's got to figure out how to because she has no idea what she's doing. I know that was pretty interesting watching her stand there and the other, because Picard's not, in the bridge anymore, so it's got to be up to other crew members to help fix it. And that also has that one scene where Data has to sacrifice his body almost to get through this electrical current.
Yep.
Yeah, it was pretty interesting. It was like how they can't get a hold of the captain, so what are they going to do? And they all have to kind of work together to get through the stuff. And then, the little kids, you had shy girl who he makes command of the other kids, and she shows good leadership skills and helps them get out. So I thought it was an interesting one because it just kind of showed, even without the captain, the other crewmates, aren't helpless.
Yep. I like the fact that what was happening on the bridge with that one was that both the lower ranking people, when O'Brien says, well, Counselor Troy has the rank of commander, so technically she'd be in charge, and Counselor Troy is like, oh, I don't know what I'm doing. And then Ensign Rowe and O'Brien are looking at each other like, Counselor Troy is in charge. And they have to tell her basic shit about how the ship works.
Right. And they're like, she's like, what do you suggest that I do? And he's like, well, I suggest you do this. She's like, yeah, let's do that. Yep. And it helps because in a later episode, she actually wants to become a bridge officer. So she has to go through that test. So they followed up. So I thought it was pretty good.
That the subsequent episode not only follows up on this one, but I believe also Coming of Age, the Wesley Crusher episode from season 1, because they give her the psych test on what she can't do.
Right. Yeah. The next one I liked was Conundrum. Yeah. Alien ship. What was it? Alien ship wipes out. Oh yeah, it's the one where it wipes all the memories and the imposter. Mm-hmm. They all don't know who they are, so they kind of trying to figure it out. Who was it? It was Worf takes over, thinking he's the commander.
Yep, I really do like that episode. That one, you know what? That one could be in my top 3 too. What were my top 3? That one, you know what? That one could almost take the place of A Matter of Time for me in my top 3. I really, Conundrum is one that I keep going back to.
I really like that because when he finally figures out that Captain Picard is Captain Picard and he's the actual captain, you see the disappointment on Worf's face. He's like, "Oh, I'm sorry."
Yeah,
I'm sitting in your chair.
Yep. Fun fact on that episode: the guy that plays Commander McDuff actually was the runner-up to play Riker originally.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. Yep.
You know that.
Yeah. You could. It's interesting because you could really see him in the role.
Right. Yeah. at first I was like, I don't think he's supposed to be there. And then, but before you start figuring out he's a bad guy, I was like, well, maybe he was. Maybe he was like a part of the crew that everybody knew, but he's just never really showed him off.
Yeah.
And then he found out, no, he's an imposter alien. I'm like, oh shit.
Yep. Yeah. I thought that too. I was like, I don't remember him, but he fit in so well.
Right.
It was really interesting. And I like the part where Beverly Crusher is trying to get their memories back. And he volunteers for the procedure, the imposter.
Right.
And then he starts like faking having a seizure. And then she's like, I guess it didn't work. And you can see him smirk a little bit.
Yeah. It was weird. Like we're at war with this alien race. I was like, wait, what?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, that was a good one. I really enjoyed that because them trying to figure out who they were, and like the whole ship, nobody knew who they were, and they finally get into the it was a crazy episode.
I'm gonna put this one back in my top 3. I'm gonna remove A Matter of Time and put this one back in my top 3. Because the more I'm thinking about it, like the Riker Ensign Rowe, thing that happened.
Right. Yeah.
That was it makes for some good storytelling right there.
Yeah. Season 7 started going off the rails with the Candle Ghosts. And the Feasty, yeah. It was season 7, yeah.
Oh yeah, it's hard for me to find a top 3 in season 7. Yeah, we'll get to that. Yeah, the space ghost that raped whatever.
All right. So your 3 that you didn't like.
Wait, was that 3 from you?
Yeah.
The 3 that I did not like. Let me see here. I've got the list in front of me so I can refresh my memory. 3 that I did not particularly care for would be New Ground. Okay, that's where Worf. That's where it's a kid-centric episode, so of course I'm not going to like it.
Right.
Because it's like half of it's just Worf's son having a fit and being a bad kid, and Worf is reunited with his son Alexander, and I don't like kids. I don't like kids. don't give me a kid episode.
Good morning, Machini 90. How you doing?
Hail Machini 90. Welcome, my friend. So it's gonna be New Ground. I don't know. I was hoping that Alexander might have gotten sucked out of an airlock or something, but it didn't happen.
Yeah, I thought his mom was hot, and then she died, and I was like, oh, that sucks.
Yeah, she died. Yeah, she was, and then she died. Hero Worship. That's another kid-centric episode.
So, right, yeah.
They find a kid, and the kid begins acting like Data, which I don't like kids. So, yeah. Dumb kid thought that he actually tripping and falling on the pad caused his family's death. Oh,
right, yeah.
So, again, I was hoping the kid would be beamed into space, but it didn't happen. And even so, and you might be saying, why not Disaster? You're a top 3. Why would that not be in my bottom 3? That's because the kids were limited and they did things,
right?
And also because of Counselor Troy looking like a dumbass. So that redeems the episode. Oh, wait. Ooh, okay, yeah. The Outcast. Riker falls in love with an androgynous alien during their efforts to rescue others of the same race who are trapped in null space. I didn't buy it. Riker is a horn dog, but he's not that much of a horn dog. And I definitely didn't think that he was going to fall in love with her. See, this to me felt like a Geordi episode. not a Riker episode. Riker, no, there's no way. No, Riker would not do that.
Yeah. I don't think it's as bad as some of the new stuff they come out with, but yeah, it was kind of a little bit forced.
It was very forced, and I mean, just the appearance of Soren, the woman, she was not very attractive. Interestingly enough, I think they were going to make this a Geordi episode, but LeVar Burton didn't want to do it, so Frakes volunteered to be the person to do it, and then I think they were actually trying to get David Bowie to play Soren, which might have worked a little bit better since he was Ziggy Stardust. I mean, I think he could have pulled off androgyny maybe a little bit better. I don't know.
Maybe.
So yeah, those are my three that kind of I wasn't so crazy about.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. Those ones weren't very good. The ones that I found were this episode 18, Cause and Effect. I did like this. Is the one where Picard finds himself in the ship, but the guy who's in the ship's all screwed up in the head, so he can't tell him anything. So they're trying to figure out how to not get into that situation. And I don't know. The whole episode just, yeah. Like, what's a ship? Why is he in it?
Wait, Cause and Effect? That's the time loop one.
Yeah, where they're stuck inside that vortex.
Yeah.
It's the one with Picard finds that little shuttle and finds himself in it, and he realizes that Enterprise was destroyed. Just like, I think it was like what 30 minutes or 3 hours or something like that in the future.
Yeah. Wait, that's from season 2.
Was it?
Yeah.
This one was this one.
Nope. I actually like that one. I think I've had that one in my top 3 when we did that one.
Huh. And why? I wonder why I read it down here. Okay, whatever. The Perfect Gift is the episode 21. Or yeah, The Perfect Gift. Picard finds an alien. He's supposed to take this one. He's supposed to make a treat, help two warring races come together in peace. He finds out that the one he's transporting in the cargo bay has a female chick in it. In what is it, like suspended emanation or whatever?
Oh, it has that weird like cocoon or whatever.
Yeah, and then she turns out to adapt herself to any man and become the perfect lover. And she ends up becoming Picard's perfect lady.
Oh, yep. Because somebody, was it a Ferengi? I forget what happened.
Yeah, the Ferengi were trying to steal her, and they got caught. And yeah. That one I was like, oh, really? The perfect woman?
Yeah, that felt more like a TOS episode to me than a TNG episode. I could picture Kirk in that situation, but not Picard.
Yeah, Kirk would be like, screw it, I don't care about the peace. Let's go have fun.
Yeah, pretty much. Or Riker. I could picture Riker being the one.
Riker, yeah.
There is a good Riker line in that one where he meets with the perfect mate, and she starts, working her feminine wiles, and Riker has to get out of there, and he's like, if you need me, I'll be in the holodeck. So, there's a good Riker line in that one, but yeah, yeah, it does. It seems a little cheesy. That one seems kind of cheesy to me.
David Bowie and Riker. Oh my.
Yep. Oh my. Yep.
And then the last one was the Inner Light. Picard gets scanned by a probe and is brought back into like this weird world. He wakes up and he's in this. His like mind is brought back in time or something.
Mm-hmm.
And he lives a full life with this alien species, which pretty much are dying. But I know the whole thing is like he's the one that sent the probe in the first place.
Yeah, that's a weird one.
Yeah, that was a weird one. I was like, wait, what? Like the whole time I was confused. I was like, are they going to finally break him out of it? And then I don't know. It was he has kids, and his kids are starting to have kids, and yeah, and then he wakes up and he's just been out for like 30 minutes.
Yep. Yeah. That's the only episode that won Star Trek: The Next Generation an Emmy. Believe it or not.
Really? Yeah.
Yep.
I thought it was a little too unbelievable for me. I was like, okay, I don't know what the probe's doing, but how is it sending him to relive? Yeah, I don't know.
It kind of creeps me out for a different reason, and that's that I kind of feel like all the tracking and information from our internet activity is being put into an arc and going to be shot into space because they secretly know that our planet's dying.
Oh yeah.
I'm like, what if that's what's happening? Yikes. So yeah, that one creeps me out for that reason. Fun fact on that episode: the man that plays his son in the simulation is actually Patrick Stewart's son.
Really?
Yep.
Wow, that's actually interesting.
Yeah,
I know that. I didn't even know he had kids.
Yep, he does. They look nothing alike, obviously, but except for they're both bald.
Yeah. You got any important mentions?
Yeah, some honorable mentions here, definitely. Wait, am I on? Oh, no wonder I'm looking at the season 6 list. Honorable mentions on my likes. Conundrum, of course, that's a good one. Really, but the Masterpiece Society, that's an honorable mention as a like. I like that one because that felt very Star Trek,
right?
And they're like, this is a human colony, so the Prime Directive doesn't apply. And you have these kind of you see, this is xenophobia done right. This is what Star Trek Discovery seems to want to do, but you're dealing with people with like 60, 80 IQs writing Star Trek Discovery. So yeah, the Masterpiece Society was good. You have Troy getting into kind of everybody's genetically engineered to have a specific function, and they're all very intelligent, but they're an asteroid's hurtling towards their colony. But the only way that they were able to figure it out is from Geordi, who takes inspiration from his visor. He would have been, and it talks about, gets into abortion too, which is pretty interesting because it's like Geordi would not have been allowed to be born on that planet if they figured out that he was blind, if a child was blind in the Masterpiece Society. So the way his visor takes in visual light is how they were able to gave him inspiration to modify the tractor beam to move the asteroid, which I thought was ingenious. It's and then this human colony is left wondering whether their whole existence is just bullshit. So I like the Masterpiece Society, and I almost thought that Troy was going to go off and be with that dude. It seemed like they had a pretty steamy romance.
Oh yeah.
And honorable mention also would be Power Play as one that I liked. So they're possessed supposedly by entities. There was a previous Federation ship that was lost, and they claim to want to have their remains buried somewhere, but it turns out they're aliens stuck in a penal colony that were stripped of their body and left to float around the atmosphere.
Oh right, yeah.
And you get Counselor Troy doing that weird voice again, which is always cool. You must take us to the southern polar region. And Cause and Effect would be an honorable mention because that I like that one. I know you don't, but that was the one I liked. Honorable mentions for dislikes, Ethics. I didn't buy that. That just seemed contrived, and I don't know. Yep. So yeah, I think that's about it for them. How about you?
I have written down Unification Part 1 and 2. Just because you meet Spock, and he has to go to Romulus, to find Spock because Spock has just disappeared. and you find him trying to work a way to bring the Romulans people into more of a Vulcan way of life, so that they can unify their people once again.
Yeah, that one was pretty interesting.
Yeah, I thought it was cool just to meet Spock. In this, it was pretty cool. He's older, he's wiser, but he's still like doing his own thing.
Yeah. I don't know that I necessarily
Kirk.
Yeah, and they tried to tie it into Star Trek 6. I don't know if I completely bought Spock's motivation in that one, but it was good to see Leonard Nimoy in TNG and interacting with Picard and Data.
Right, yeah. Let's see. That's the only one I have. Just that one. Season 6, what'd you think? Your 3 favorites.
All right. See, this is where I'm going to struggle to find 3 favorites because we're getting into the suck. Season 6 is when things really started going downhill. So Phil says, as a kid, I found those Spock episodes boring as hell, even though it was cool to see Spock. Yeah, I kind of agree with you. They were kind of boring.
Yeah.
Hold on. So, yeah, this is where I'm struggling to find 3 good ones. I'm going to go ahead and say the 2-parter. I'm going to list it as 1 episode. Chain of Command, because this was fun. This was a fun one for me, not because, necessarily of Picard, but because of the dick captain that took over for Captain Picard.
Oh, right, yeah.
Dude's a total hard ass, does things a totally different way from Picard, but I love the fact that they made it to where he wasn't wrong. He was right. He just had a different way of doing things. He didn't like a lot of dissent. He didn't like a lot of discussion. He just wanted to get the job done. And he clashed with Riker a little bit, but in the end, he ended up being right. And, he just, he came in as kind of a dick, and he went out of there in kind of a huff. He's like, it was an honor serving with you. And just kind of like took off. He's like, fuck these people.
Yeah.
So I thought that was my favorite part of the episode, was actually Ronnie Cox being the captain. Let's see. Yeah, this is where I'm starting to struggle to find 3 that I really like. Oh yeah, boy. There are some ones that got kind of dumb in this one. I'm not going to have any trouble finding 3 I don't like. That's for sure. Yeah, I'm struggling here. Probably Man of the People. I thought that was an interesting idea. So you have an ambassador a psychic ambassador that uses women and uses up their essence to keep himself young.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Yeah, and so he does that, and then Deanna Troi goes off the rails and starts becoming like this hypersexual,
obsessed nut job.
Yeah, this hypersexual fucking cougar, and she gets, she goes after Riker. I think she scratches his face, doesn't she?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that got a little weird, and then they, they figured out what was going on, and they reversed the effect on him when he's trying to do that to another woman, and he ended up getting like almost like, it's almost like Raiders of the Lost Ark or something happens to him. Yeah, it's real weird. And I guess even though the story isn't the best, probably Relics with they find Scotty in a transport.
Right.
So yeah, again, this is the season where things start getting kind of sucky. But even though it was kind of contrived and a little cliched, I forgive it because I was so happy to see Scotty.
Oh, I know. That's my first favorite one. Yeah, is Relics. Yeah.
Yep. So those are the 3 that I like.
Yeah, yeah. Relics was awesome. That was my first one. Yeah. You find Scotty. At first, I didn't recognize him. I was like, "What?" And then I recognized the voice though, almost immediately. And it was really cool. I like that episode mostly because he does the hollow. He goes to the hollow suite, and he brings up the old, the cockpit to the old,
Yeah, the original
Enterprise. Yeah, and he's sitting in there drinking with Captain Picard, and he's talking about all their grand adventures and stuff, and it's like, oh, so awesome. But he's then he has to admit that it's just all fake because he's sitting in a hologram and it's not real, and that he's been stuck in that transporter for like 80 years. And what's he gonna do now? And
yeah. And then it was weird seeing Geordi like telling him what a dumbass he was.
That was a little weird. Like he was trying to help in the engine room, and Geordi's like, "I understand you want to help, but you don't know this stuff because you don't know the newer engines and stuff." So, and then eventually, he does help them out. Him and Geordi get along on the shuttle or whatever.
Yeah, begrudgingly, Captain Picard says it's not an order, but really it is an order. He's like, but I would like you to help Captain Scott. He was like, sure, Captain. Okay.
It was also kind of cool to see that, Scotty got, later on became a captain and had his own ships and, finally retired. It was kind of interesting to see. Scotty's always been my favorite original Star Trek character of all. So I like seeing him again.
Yeah, definitely, for sure. I definitely enjoyed the episode. And yeah, at the end he decides not to retire, but to go off adventuring. So theoretically, he's still adventuring.
All right, what's the other one? True Q. I thought that was an interesting one, just because that they got that girl, the young girl who is like the best of her class or whatever, and she's on the the Enterprise to learn from all the crew. Then Q shows up, and you find out the girl's actually a Q, and her parents were Qs at least, and they were killed by the Q the Q group, and she has to decide if she wants to stay with them or become a Q, and can she resist not using her powers? That's why they killed her parents, because they used their powers. And I thought that was interesting just because it's funny how she didn't like Q at all.
Yeah. He kept doing these crazy tests like the warp core breach.
Yeah.
And that Q could have just killed everybody. That was very interesting. Yeah, I that definitely was a runner up for me. I thought that was weird how she had that weird fantasy about Commander Riker. That was kind of strange.
Yeah, she tried to. Yeah, that was kind of weird. Or she was in love with him. Yeah, I was like, oh boy. Commander Riker's like, you're cute, but you're a little kid.
Yeah, and it's like this is
weird.
Yeah, you're too young for me, But would she put him in a top hat or something?
Yeah, she put him like a suit with a top hat. Yeah.
Yeah, very strange. But yeah, that was a good one. Yeah, it's weird that the Q killed her family off. It just seems like so un-Q of them.
Yeah, like with a tornado that came out of nowhere.
Yeah.
And then you got the next one I liked was the quality of life. It was the small robots seem to be self-aware, and Data recognizes it before anybody else, and he tries to save them. They were building that weird drilling machine.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I thought that was cool because it just showed like Data was all alone, and all these little robots were actually showing self-awareness and adaptability. And so he was like trying to fight just like they fought for him, trying to fight that they're not just machines and they deserve, the right to live too.
Oh yeah, exocomps. Yeah, then the exocomps end up. Some of them they ask them to, and one of them ends up sacrificing themselves, right?
Yeah, yeah. One sends the others and then sacrifices himself to fix it. Yep.
Yeah, it was a good one. I think that would also be an honorable mention of mine.
All right. Oof. I guess we'll move on to your three worst. No, this will be fun for you.
Oh man, this is gonna be rough. because there's a lot to choose from. We're starting to get into a lot to choose from here. So this might not be a surprise, but Rascals is definitely one I don't like. A transporter malfunction turns Picard, Keiko, Ro, and Guinan into children. God, who become the ship's
right, yes,
becomes the ship's only hope if they're left on board.
Yeah, you definitely hit that because they're all kids.
Yeah, goddamn kids. You have Guinan saying, I want to jump on a bed. I'm like, oh, God.
Don't you want to be a kid again?
No.
Let's jump on the bed. It's like, oh.
Yeah. I will give credit to the actor that played Picard, who also played his nephew in season 4. Who said, I want to see my father now. I thought that was. I'll give begrudging credit to that actor for doing a good job.
Yeah.
But yeah, kids. Yeah, this episode for sure goes at the bottom of the list. Fuck kids. Okay, so the next one also is a kid-centric episode, but it also kind of sucks. So a fistful of Data's. Data's mind is connected to the ship's computer, which creates an unforeseen effect on the holodeck. I'll give it grudging credit in that it does have, at the end, a good joke. But I'll talk about why I don't like it for now. First of all, it's a kid-centric episode. I don't know why they just don't put Alexander into the airlock and blow him out into space, but so it's Worf being trying to be a good dad and not knowing how, and they go to the holodeck, and Barclay, I guess, has a program set up in the Old West, and Worf is the sheriff, and
oh right, yes,
Alexander is the deputy, and all of a sudden all of the characters' faces get replaced with Brent Spiner, Data. Which, you got to hand it to Brent Spiner. He does a good job acting in those roles. And so they find out that they have to complete the program. I guess it's OK Corral or something like that. I don't know. I don't care. But anyway, this is the part of the episode that I do enjoy is that, why isn't after they get done winning the gunfight, Worf's like, why is the program not ending? And then they tell him, you have to, there must be something else for you to do. And then the prostitute comes down, and it's dressed like, and of course it has the face of Commander Data.
Oh yeah.
And Worf starts going, computer and program. And he's like, who programmed this simulation? Lieutenant Barclay, sir. We must have a talk with Lieutenant Barclay. Because basically, it's implied that he has to, do the prostitute. It has Data's face, and Brent Spiner does such a good job of playing that prostitute too.
I know.
Really hamming it up, like whoa, it made it super creepy. So yeah, those are. See, I found a moment I liked, even in an episode I didn't like.
Hail, Time Prophet, how you doing?
Hail, Time Prophet. Let's see. Oh, okay. And so yeah, see, this is gonna be this is tough because
so many.
Yeah, there are a few that I really don't like, so it's gonna be tough to find which one. I guess I'm just going to, because there's a really boring one. Starship Mine is super boring, so I don't like that one because it's boring. And I'm probably going to go with Starship Mine just because it's so freaking boring. Thieves attempt to steal trilithium from the Enterprise during a baryon sweep at the Rembler array, and Picard alone must thwart them. I don't need to see action Picard. This episode was a snooze. It was boring. Again, I don't buy action Picard, and an honorable mention dislike would probably be Lessons, because I don't think that again, it ruins it for me. I thought that it was implied that Guinan was, Guinan and Picard had something going on kind of DL wise under the radar. And
yeah.
I did, I thought that, Picard liked women like Guinan and didn't like women like, whoever that head of Astro whatever. Anyway, so
right.
Yeah, those are my three dislikes, I think.
Yeah, mine was the first one I didn't like was Face of the Enemy, where Tori she wakes up as a Romulan, and they find out they got a bunch of like, she's got to save a couple deserters in the Romulan Empire, and they just dressed her up like a Romulan, thrust her into like, you had to act like you're a Tal Shadar or whatever they're called, and I don't know. That episode just felt like out of place, kind of shoved in there for no reason. I don't know.
See, I kind of liked that one because it followed up. Again, they're paying tribute to canon, like the Ambassador Spock and his struggle, and
right.
I thought it kind of kept me on the edge of my seat. Because you didn't know if she's going to get caught or not. And she's like, and Troy has some good lines like, I've tasted better Venerine on prison ships.
Yeah.
And it's interesting because the woman that plays the Romulan commander, I believe she played the Romulan commander in the season 2 episode where they find the Iconians, where the other Galaxy class ship blows up.
Oh, right. Maybe it might have been the same one.
Yeah, I think it is the same actress, but she's playing a different role in this one, which I wish they would have just had her be the same commander, but whatever.
Yeah. Let's see. Episode 15, Tapestry. I like this is another Q episode where Picard gets wounded and Q takes him back in time to when he was like, he just graduated.
Mm-hmm.
And he has to decide if he wants to make the same decisions, and if he does, he'll lose his real heart, but he gets an artificial one. And it just, I don't know, that whole episode was kind of just strange. Oh, like in the end, he decides just to do the same thing, and then he ends up still living.
Yeah. See, again, that's an honorable dismention for me as well. That one very well could have been in my top 3, my bottom 3, I guess, because for the sake, it just made me uncomfortable. First of all, they have him still looking like old Picard, which was weird.
Right.
I think that's one of the main things that kind of takes me out of it. And then, I don't know. I feel like if he were transported back to that time, he would probably enjoy it and not be the killjoy that he is.
Right.
So it didn't resonate with me. And I mean, I liked Q, but okay. So let me ask you this: do you think that really happened, or that he was hallucinating while he was on the table?
Oh, I think Q was just messing with him. I think Q knew he was going to survive. It just saw it as a way to screw with Picard a little bit more.
Yeah. See, I thought he was hallucinating. I didn't think that any of that happened.
Oh, really? It might have been hallucinating the whole time.
Interesting. Yeah.
And my third one was Starship Mine. Yeah, I didn't like that one. You were the terror signal the ship. Yeah. I was like, how they get on the ship? Because, they pretend they're engineers or something. They didn't make any sense.
Yeah, it didn't make sense. It was plus it was boring. Damn it.
Yeah, and how did Picard know it was them? Like, that was like the first thing that was really confused me in that episode. Like, he went up, got his little horse thing, and then he was getting ready to leave, and that guy started talking, and he's like, what are you doing? And he just hit him with the horse thing. I was like, what's going on? Why did he do that?
Yeah, Picard just murders some guy, doesn't he?
Yeah. It's like, what's going on? I don't get it. And then you finally figure out that he somehow realized that they weren't supposed to be there. And all they wanted was some waste from the engine. They didn't even care about the starship. They just wanted some waste from the engine so they could use to make a bomb or sell to somebody who wants to make a bomb.
Yeah, that one was really dumb.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, yep. Boy, it goes really downhill in season 7, let me tell you.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, season 7 you knew was kind of coming to an end. So
yeah, you can tell the writer's like, I'm out of ideas. You got anything? Yeah, let's have Beverly Crusher. Let's have Beverly Crusher get raped by a space ghost on a planet Scotland. Okay, yeah, seems like a Star Trek episode.
Oh yeah, now I remember that one. I was trying to think. I was like, Space Ghost. I was like, what are you talking? And then now I remember. Yeah, that was a horrible episode.
We'll get to that one when we get to it, though. I have a feeling that's going to be both of our worst episode.
Yeah. Oh. Space culture perfect. That's funny. Called Time Prophet. You're hilarious. Oh man. But yeah, I didn't have any mentions this time. I just found those couple 3. I was like, oh, I like those 3, but most of them I just like, it was okay.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, this is where things start getting sucky. But man, I don't know. I think Ronnie Cox is still alive. If we had good Star Trek writers, I would say please find some way to bring him back.
Right.
Of course, Ronnie Cox is really old now, isn't he? It's like, okay, he's 82 years old. Yeah.
Yeah, he's probably like, no, I'm done. I'm retired.
Yeah, they did an interview with him, and he says that his family, out of all the roles that he's been in, from like Deliverance to RoboCop to was he in? He was in Total Recall too, wasn't he?
I don't know. Totally. Let's see. He might have been.
Let me see. Filmography, Ronnie Cox. Whoa, he's been in a lot of shit. Holy crap. So anyways, of all the roles that he's been in, his family thinks that playing Captain Jellicoe, the dickish captain in Star Trek The Next Generation, was the best thing he's ever done. He was in Total Recall. Yeah, he was Cohagen.
Oh, yeah. Oh. Yeah. I'm finishing. I'm just started on season 7 of Deep Space Nine, so I can't wait to review it. Deep Space Nine is way better than TNG for me, at least. I really love Deep Space Nine.
I like that it was different, but it still felt very Trek to me.
Yeah.
I do think that Cisco is a war criminal, though.
I think he's better than Picard. I think he has more of a presence than Picard did. Plus, if you've never noticed, like in Deep Space Nine, there's no mention of Picard almost ever. It's like there's like massive war with the Dominions happening. Worf is here. They mentioned a couple others, but like, where's Picard? Because there's no mention ever of Picard anywhere. Because they like, oh, this captain died. This ship's got blown up. I'm like, you think they'd be like, hey, remember your old Captain Picard? Yeah, he's doing pretty good out there, or something.
Yeah. Well, I think Miles O'Brien mentions the Enterprise a couple of times, but he never really mentions Picard, I don't think.
No. So I was like, the whole time I was like, so is Picard retired at this point? Or he's like on his little farm in the yard, just whatever? I don't know. But yeah, I'm really enjoying Deep Space Nine. I just finished season 7, and my favorite episode of all time was season 6 was in that show. I'll mention this. I'll say which episode it was. It had they called him Vic, but he was supposed to be what's his name? That singer.
Oh yeah. They made him like Frank Sinatra type.
Yeah, Frank Sinatra. My God, I love Frank Sinatra. He's my favorite singer ever. So that episode was fantastic. I was like, this is literally my favorite episode of all time now.
Oh, we're gonna have different lists. I can tell you already, because I don't like the character of Vic. I thought he was dumb.
Oh yeah, because he's a hologram.
It's just the whole thing is weird.
So I like that episode just because I thought, like, if he was really like, if they somehow got Frank Sinatra into the future, I still see him being like that.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah, we'll definitely be doing DS9 also if you're up for it
Oh
because
yeah, oh yeah,
yeah, I like DS9 quite a bit. They explore all the big ideas that they want to explore in Star Trek Discovery have been done way better in DS9. Okay, like
um,
they want to make Mikey Spock the bestest ever, but Captain Sisko actually is the bestest ever. And while they
right.
try to make Mikey Spock, have delusions of godhood, they actually made Sisko a god, and I actually believed it.
Mm. Yeah, it's pretty interesting. I just hit season 7, so I'll be finishing it soon.
Yeah,
Then I'll
it's
do
good.
a review over it.
It's a little weird having a different Dax, but I think she really does. I think her character
Yeah,
is different enough that it works.
yeah, I can't wait to see what happens because now I'm like in season 7, and certain people have died,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm like, what? No, I liked her.
Well, she's not really dead technically, but
Right? Yeah.
oh, never mind. I'm not
I,
going to
I have
spoil.
a
I'm not going to
feeling
spoil it.
that something's going to happen, and I'm just like, oh, I can't wait to get that episode to see what happens.
Yeah, it sucks how they killed her off too, because apparently that was a contract dispute.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Yeah.
they were dickering her around on her contract, and apparently they were playing some hardball. But Terry Farrell, the actress that played Dax, she just like wanted to act, and she thought that they
Right.
didn't appreciate her, so she bailed. She ended up on like
Really?
Becker. I think it was Becker. I don't think she liked Becker as much as she liked playing Dax.
Yeah. She did a good job. I think her and Worf look freaking adorable together. So
Yeah,
good.
yeah, they made a good couple. They made a really good couple. So yeah, and we'll get to season 7 of TNG, but I
Yeah.
didn't buy Worf and Counselor Troy. Okay, I didn't buy it.
Yeah, I was wondering about that. I was like they did that whole thing where what was it? Like he was in like the future or a different timeline or something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
parallels.
Yeah. No.
So okay, it's just as weird for me to see Troy with Worf as it is for me to see Riker with a genderless person. All right, I don't buy
Yeah.
it. He has a type. She has a type. I mean, she has a well-established type. All right, the type of dudes that she has been with, there's an established pattern and a type of dude that she goes for, and Worf
Right.
is not in that established pattern. Like so she goes for Riker, she goes for the other ambassador that's a Betazoid. She goes for the other ambassador dude later on that makes like in this season,
Right.
and she goes for the guy from the Masterpiece Society who runs that society. I just don't buy her and Worf. I just don't.
Yeah, I didn't see it either. The actress who plays the new Dax is in Arrow?
Nicole
Really?
DeBoer, yeah, Nicole DeBoer.
Huh. That's interesting. I didn't know that.
I think you'll like what they do with the Dax symbiote in season 7.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited to see what happens.
Yep. Time Prophet says perhaps they wanted a change of type because it didn't work before. Nah, I think that's when we're starting to get into PC-ness and wokeness. Yeah. I think unfortunately is the motivation. I think they're putting that above the storytelling because organically those two. Now Deanna's mother, I think she would have had a relationship with Worf, but
oh my god. Oh, that would have been funny if she went after Worf. Dear God.
Yep. Your thoughts are too primitive for me, Mr. Woof, or whatever. Yeah. Yeah. So there's so much good Star Trek out there, and I'm trying to keep it positive and not bash.
Yeah.
Well, okay, even when Beverly Crusher got raped by a space ghost, it's still better than the best episode of Discovery. Jesus.
Oh, I bet. Dude, I've heard some of the stuff that because I never watched the show, but I've done the review. I've like watched all the reviews, from like Gary and those guys and Doomcock, and oh my god, I'm like, how are you still watching the show? like I get it, you want to review it, but man, the torture you have to put yourself to watch that crap. Oh my gosh.
Okay, the last episode of Star Trek Discovery, they actually had a literal wall in space.
Oh,
and the Earth decided they didn't want to be a part of the Federation anymore, and they became like xenophobic. Those bad people from Germany. They became like them. I was like, Jesus Christ, man! How much more on the nose do you want to be with this shit? A literal wall and oh my god, and then they had an alien, and the alien ended up being like, the one white dude in the episode is like, they pulled a helmet, like they had a scoop. They literally had a Scooby-Doo moment where they pulled an alien head off of this guy, and it ended up being a helmet, and it was an evil white dude. An evil white dude. I'm like, what the fuck, man? God, it's so bad. It's so bad. It's so bad. And they didn't talk. It turns out that, they were in it's just so stupid. They were battling each other for like 100 years or something like that. And it just took Mikey Spock, who's the bestest ever, to get them to talk and realize that they're both human beings. Oh my God. It's so fucking, I'm getting mad. I'm getting mad.
This is why I'm glad all the original stuff's out there to watch. Just go, that's not Real Trek. And I'll go back to Real Trek.
Yeah, Real Trek is so much better. Serenity now. Yeah. Serenity now. Okay, I'm good.
No, I feel you, man. I feel you. Ugh.
Yeah, and then the stupid Drekkies are trying to ratio my review of that episode too.
Yeah, I saw you had 10 likes, like 3 dislikes when I was watching it. I was like, oh, they're coming.
Yeah, let me see what they are now. I think so right now. Oh, okay. So I did have 4 dislikes. That's interesting. Yep, 10 likes, 3 dislikes. Okay. So somebody undisliked it, or it was probably a troll account, and they deleted their troll account.
No. Yeah, they'll come for us eventually. I haven't got too many hate or dislikes yet, but I got a couple.
Yeah, and I don't want to work myself up again, but these Drekkies, man, it's okay. It's just like, all right, can I get on my soapbox? Is that okay?
Yeah,
I'm gonna get on my soapbox. Okay, so. We have an election coming up soon, and you get a lot of orange man bad, fuck Trump. And I'm like, what do you like about Biden? Orange man bad, fuck Trump. I'm like, okay, what do you like about Biden? Because what I like about Trump is getting rid of NAFTA, getting rid of CAFTA, 86 in the TPP, getting out of the Paris Climate Accords, which were bullshit. And renegotiating and getting into a better North American, trade agreement. And I like what he's doing with border security and immigration. What do you like about Biden? Fuck Trump. I'm like, okay, if you want to convert me, I'm like, I've got an open mind. I will listen. I will listen to what you have to say. I mean, do you like the way that he sniffs hair? Is that what it is? I mean, do you want to go to a rally and have him tell you that he likes Pantene? I mean, what the fuck? Give me something. Did you like the 94 crime bill? Is that why you like him? But no, you never get anything out of him. And the Drekkies are the same way. They're like, fucking racist. You don't like Michael Burnham because she's black. It's like, what?
It's like, I like Captain Sisko. He was black.
Yeah, like Uhura, like Geordi. So they'll ask them. I'll say, what do you like about Star Trek Discovery? I don't need to tell you, racist. I'm like, well, I can tell you what I like about Star Trek Discovery. I liked Captain Lorca. I liked the idea I liked the character of Stamets at first. And I liked the idea that he was an eccentric genius, and they had this weird ship that was a prototype. And it's not the nuclear codes, man. If you like something, it's not the nuclear codes. You can tell people why you like something. You're just trying to trick me. I'm not going to tell you. It's like, it's not a trick question. It's a fucking TV show. You can tell me what you like about it. So anyway, that's the end of my soapbox. I'm getting mad.
No, yeah, I understand. Yeah, they're just, I don't know. It just, because Star Trek was good because it did such a good job of arguing different points of view of the same thing and letting you decide who was right and who was wrong. But this is just smacking in the face preaching. And it's like, nobody wants to be preached to unless you go to church.
Yeah, man. And even then, you can find a church that'll do a good job about making you think.
Yes, exactly. And yeah, no, it's just,
yeah. Time Prophet says, I like the end title credits because you kind of knew it was over. Okay, well, yeah, I'll give grudging credit. See, again, I'll give grudging credit to Star Trek Discovery there. I like the score. Jeff Russo is one of the great composers of our time. I'd love to hear more work from him. I thought his score. See, I'm not going to punish the actors or punish people that do things about it I like. It's just what I think is, wow, man, it must really suck to have your resume attached to Star Trek Discovery because it's such a horrible show.
Right. Yeah, it's like I played Burnham and started, and we'll see next.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. It just, yeah.
God, she's such a contemptible character. I hate her.
Like every time I see a review when she's not in the show, everybody's like, "It wasn't that bad this episode," and then like when next episode she's in it, they're like,
So get this. So we're in season 3, and she's with this dude Book, and there's obvious sexual chemistry, right? So in this episode we find out it's a year later, and they make a point of saying there's been no physical, that they haven't had any physical consummation of their relationship, and that they're just friends.
Right.
Like, why do you need that? There's nothing wrong with a woman wanting to be with a man, but they can't even do that. Like, Jesus Christ. These people are ridiculous. That would have actually made her more interesting if she was in this relationship with Book. Instead, I mean, I guess she's like some robot with a vagina, and I don't know. I guess Book just heads into the holodeck and maybe spanks the monkey occasionally.
Gets caught live.
Oh no, yeah, you don't want that to happen. Yeah. Of course, it's like a hologram because that's the way it is. So there's like a 3D of it.
He thinks it's a hologram, but it's really someone. Gets Me Too'd.
Yeah. There's probably a lot of I have a feeling there's a lot of Me Tooing in the future.
Oh. So give me the program about me on the holodeck and then doing stuff to it. I'm like, oh, that's okay.
Yeah. That was interesting how that whole thing played out with Geordi and that chick.
Yeah. She was like, wait, you have a hologram programming and you kissed it? It's like,
Yeah. When you're touching the engines, you're touching me. Was it good for you, Commander?
I'm married. It's like, oh shit.
Like, how did the computer not account for that?
Right. Her personality is almost completely different than what the computer had picked.
Yeah, way different.
Oh, that was great. Like Geordi's all like, I'm gonna meet her. She's gonna be my dream girl. She comes in there. He's like, oh.
and Guinan knew exactly what was happening too.
Yeah. I wonder what happened to Guinan. I never see like her or her people ever again. I haven't seen any mention of them. Like she's immortal or something.
Well, she's supposed to be long-lived, which see that's one of the that's one of the reasons I didn't like Time's Arrow, was because you know, it ruined the lore for me. I wanted to have that mysterious history.
Oh, between the car, yeah.
Yeah, and that whatever.
They went back in time. Yeah, that was a weird episode. Yeah. I don't know. But yeah. All right. Well, I guess we'll wrap it up there.
All right. Yeah.
I'm sure Wes wants to try to get some sleep.
Yeah, PG. Yeah, I had a transformer explode out of my place. For those of you in the chat that didn't know, last night at like midnight or 12:30, and I had like 3 giant PG&E trucks out there working on it all night with all that noise. I'm just like, fuck. But yeah, so thanks for hanging out, chat. I am Wes Moody, the Wes Moody webcast. I talk about current events, pop culture, occasional conspiracy theories, occasional car talk, gaming streams, and I will vlog about whatever the heck I want to because it is my webcast. Hope to see you there. Thank you, my friends.
Yep. Thank you. Of course, you can find me here on the Mirror Sphere, and I hope you all enjoyed this time. Was it a robot in disguise?
Whoa.
I'll see you all. Thank you, Time Prophet, and all the rest of you who joined us in these discussions, and I'll talk to you all later.
See ya.
Bye.